I know y'all be asking for me to do throwback reviews and shit, you know what I'm saying? I don't feel you gotta pick a certain day to talk about music that you grew up listening to or music that was in a certain era. So this album definitely mean a lot to me. A lot of people like Graduation, a lot of people like College Dropout, a lot of people like Registration, so forth and so on. Me, I like this. 808s and Heartbreak, nigga. This album was fucking crazy. You know what I mean? It was during the time when his mom had passed. He just got out of a bad, I won't say bad relationship, but you know what I mean? He was in a relationship and it didn't go so well, you know what I mean? That shit was crazy. This track right here, this my shit, bro. I don't give a fuck. I didn't know what to expect when he released Love Lockdown. Hey, 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 hey. This shit was crazy when it came out. I used to be at myself, I was knocking this shit, right? And saying this part out loud. She like, Deshaun, you crazy, nigga. Fuck. Who is that? Kanye? I'm like, yep. But yeah, Say You Will. Definitely incredible track. I mean, you can just hear the hurt in his voice, you know, the topics he talked about, just in the first track alone, and how he let the beat ride out at the end of the record, which is crazy. That's what got me to this album, and I was like, that's crazy. Like, it just provoked so much emotion, and at the time that this shit was out, I was going through so much shit. I relate to every song on this motherfucker. Not to say that there's songs on here that's not as dope, but at the same time, this album's incredible. So Say You Will, I fuck with that. Welcome to Heartbreak. The production was crazy. Kid Cudi on the hook. The video was a trip. A lot of people, that's an underrated video to me. People still don't give it its props. You know what I mean? It was just a crazy song. You know what I mean? To see Kid Cudi in that light, and Kanye the way he talked about it, you know what I mean? That shit was just a fool. But I couldn't hear him all the way in first class. Took a long like my life long. Look back on my life and my life gone. Where did I go wrong? Nigga, that hit so much home with me. Like, I'm telling you, this song was fucking crazy. I fuck with that song. Everybody know this song. Like, you know what I mean? Heartless just was the shit. Like, I was like bumping this shit every time some motherfucker called me though. Like, actually I dedicate this shit to this one bitch though. She was like a fine ass Puerto Rican chick, right? But she just was weird. You know what I mean? And it's just like, you know how you get a chick that's kind of not immature but just insecure with shit? You know what I'm saying? And the way she treats you is because her own insecurities. It's just situations that happen. So I used to always play this, not because of her, but I just used to play it, and she used to actually cry when she heard the song, because it's just like, oh, you think I'm heartless, you think I'm this, you think I'm that. And I'm like, man, I don't want to hear that shit. But it just like, it was weird. And then listening to the lyrics, and it's just like, that line right there, like, you walk around like you don't know me, like, that's how, I still to this day don't get how most females cannot acknowledge you when they know who the fuck you are. Like, that shit is whack. Like, I don't even front on bitches like that. Like, if you do some whack shit, you just did some whack shit. You know what I mean? I ain't gonna be all in your face and shit, but at the same time, it's just like, it's weird when I just see certain shit, you know what I mean, or come across certain shit. So this song definitely was just a dope song. Amazing featuring Young Jeezy. The production alone. This shit should not have been on this album. I always felt like this should have been on the rap album. Even though he used the auto-tune shit, it fit, but it didn't fit. You know what I'm saying? Because this kind of was like almost a damn near hip-hop record. You know what I mean? To me, this could have actually went on Graduation. I know a lot of y'all gonna say, whoa, how? But listen to it. You know what I'm saying? Because it's like, he using auto-tune singing, yeah. But when you really listen to Graduation, I always felt that song could have fit there. So I always said that. I always just felt like this song he did during the Graduation, you know, because then you listen to Can't Tell Me Nothing and got the Jeezy sample, but it shit just dope, man. See the Jeezy sample? It just was a crazy record, and Jeezy had a phenomenal verse on that shit, bro. Okay, the one song that it has to grow on you, but the way that MTV made him promote the song to the fans, it made you like, what the fuck is Kanye doing? Because it was all distorted and shit on the MTV Awards, and you like, what is that shit? Because I didn't like it at first either. I didn't know what the fuck it was. but I knew I heard something. So you run right to LimeWire. You remember LimeWire, FrostWire back in the day? Download it, but it had the MTV version. So you basically had to wait until the video premiered, and then once he premiered the video, you listen to it, and it's like, oh wow, it's not that bad. But I will say this: the reason why it's okay, the auto-tune is not bad, but all the noises and the African vibe and everything, that shit cool. But towards the end, it gets loud and it gets annoying and all type of shit like that. You know what I mean? So I just couldn't believe. I was just like, it's okay. It's not some shit you always want to play though, but it's still a dope song. The hook is just crazy. Now, Paranoid featuring Mr. Hudson was another great song. If you remember the video, it had Rihanna in it. It just was crazy. Like, who never been around somebody that's paranoid? Like, why are you so paranoid? Like, why are you always thinking shit that's there that's not really there? You know what I'm saying? So when I'm listening to this album, I was like, wow. Even when I went and bought this motherfucker, I bought 2 copies because it was the last 2 left, and I will never forget this. It was a chick outside that went to the counter and wanted it. You know what I'm saying? But the dude was like, we just sold out. He bought the last 2 copies. And just to look in her eye alone, I gave her a copy. Like, I ain't never done that with music. You know what I'm saying? It wasn't no bonus or no deluxe shit. It just was the last 2 copies. And I bought both of them. You know what I'm saying? Because I was going to open one and save one. And just to look at her face, it's like she been to Target. She went to Modesto. Even though people said that the album didn't sell, this shit was selling out. It may have not went platinum, which I think it did end up going platinum. It just was selling out. So at the end of the day, I was just like, well, here, I bought 2 copies. She didn't even want to take it. You know what I'm saying? I'm like, no, it's cool. Go ahead. You know what I'm saying? So I gave it to her. You know, it was dope. I didn't ask for a number. I didn't give a fuck who she was. But just to see the level of how Kanye fans impact is that's crazy. I mean, even when I went and bought Graduation, that shit was crazy because I almost got in a fight trying to buy that album. But that's another story for another day. But so I had just gave her the album and I was like, well, here, you know, I see you. You know what I mean? It was just dope to see that. Motherfuckers couldn't believe it. Like, you just spent that much money on these CDs and you gave it to her. It just, she really wanted the CD though. You can just tell she was hurt. You know what I mean? So it is what it is. But Paranoid was another good track. I love how he used the auto-tune. How he incorporated Mr. Hudson with the record. This is the Kanye that I felt like he needed to get back to this. Moving on to RoboCop. When I first seen the title, I was like, RoboCop? That movie from the 80s? You know what I'm saying? And it's like, you listen to the lyrics and it's like, yeah, okay, I see where he went with that. You know what I mean? It's probably a song people would still be like, nah, it ain't all that. You know what I mean? But I thought it was dope. But if you listen to what he's saying, you could tell he talking about the chick that he was with. You know what I'm saying? This is before the whole Amber Rose shit. So, RoboCop was a good song. Streetlights is definitely my fucking song. I gave that shit 3 checks because it's just like, you ever been watching a movie and you see the scene when they probably in the cabin just driving? No bullshit. If you put this shit on and put your headphones in and it's just, at least it's me, it's just certain scenes that be in movies. At certain times, that song will fit that scene you watching. And it was a scene I was watching with some movie where they was in New York, and the dude was in a cab just driving. And the song is like damn near 3 minutes. So I'm like, fuck, I don't want the song to end before that scene ends. And no bullshit, the whole fucking scene was just them driving, him looking, you know, lights and everything like that while the song is playing. That shit was crazy. And then you stop at the stoplight and you see people walking across the street. You know how New York is, you know, and I just thought that shit was the most amazing shit. So he didn't do a video for this, but it just visualized the song for me. That shit was just incredible. Sometimes I even be like riding and just zone out to that shit. I'm just different with music, and it's just, these one of the songs that, you know what I mean, it just fit from him, what he talking about in the lyrics, to the cab, to watching that shit on TV. That was crazy. You know what I mean? The album dropped November 24th of 08. You know what I mean? So that's crazy that I still had that scene. And I remember that memory, even though it wasn't that long ago. But that shit just made me like the song even more. Now we get on to bad news. This is where people didn't really feel like this was the better of the album. I mean, I like the song. To me, the lyrics are amazing. You know what I mean? It's like, well, he's not really saying anything. Because a lot of people said about this album, he ain't really saying anything. Yada, yada, yada. But I mean, listen to what he's saying. You know what I'm saying? So imagine that shit, you know. Now we get to the song with Lil Wayne. It's okay. You know, I wasn't impressed with this because Barry Bonds, and I was like, okay, Wayne had a good verse on that. But then they get to this, and I'm like, it wasn't Kanye best moments. You know what I mean? Lil Wayne either. Sorry. So it's okay. You know what I mean? Number 11, Coldest Winter. I love the video he did for it. I think it fit very well. You know what I mean? So it's a good song. You know, most people won't really like it or pay attention to the lyrics, but I do. You know what I mean? Just listen to what he's saying. Memories in the coldest. It's a breakup. You know what I mean? Like, that's it. That's all she wrote. You know what I mean? No more. It's not an encore. That's it. You know what I mean? All I got left is memories. It's a dope song to me. Maybe I'm just in touch with a lot of my other, you know, emotions, I guess. But it's a good song, nevertheless. And the last track, Pinocchio Story, freestyle live from Singapore. It's just dope. Like, if you bought the album, you heard this shit. You hear how that one bitch screamed so fucking loud? That shit was crazy. And people say, Kanye West is not the rock star he think he is. Don't let that dumb shit in publications fool you about people want to burn this or they boycotting him on this. Kanye did a lot for music. You know what I mean? So fuck all them people. I even heard I seen a little clip. Some niggas, I don't know who he is, nigga, like, Kanye West is not the rock star that he think he is. Are you stupid? Like, I don't know who that guy is. Some white dude, whatever the fuck band he from. Fuck him. You know what I mean? How can you say some shit like that? We already know Kanye's arrogant. He's cocky, nigga. Didn't you listen to his lyrics? The only one got robbed without losing his jewelry. You know what I'm saying? I'm going to throw a tantrum like a 3-year-old. However he said it. Like, he admitting every flaw that y'all dissing him for. He already said it in his music. So what the fuck are y'all saying if he already admitted it? You know what I mean? Like, that doesn't make sense to me. Like, but you can't prove him wrong. Listen to his music. Look at the work he's done. So it's like, come on, man. That's not dick riding and everything like that. Like, how many L's have Kanye took musically in his career? Yeah, he did a couple mediocre verses this year. Who hasn't never done mediocre verses in their career? But look at everything that he paved the way. He changed hip-hop, nigga. You know what I mean? He made that nerd shit cool as fuck. You dig? So, knock that shit off. Overall, I get his project a 9 out of 10. I fuck with 10 out of 12 records. Production, you already know it's on point, 10 out of 10. You know what I'm saying? So, there you go. Kanye West, 808s and Heartbreak, dropped November 24th, 2008. Still a classic album in my eyes. You know, first number one album. You know what I'm saying? Not first number one album, but in my Kanye catalog, this goes number one. You dig? Y'all let me know what y'all think about this album. There you go.